Peace, love, blessings to everyone out there. How are y'all doing? I haven't done a live one of these in a while, so I thought I would do a live one and then I'll transfer it back over to my other platform. But I just wanted to reach out today. Happens to be my last day of work with the company that I'm with. Now, before you all reach out and start posting, condolences, I'm so sorry about this. Please don't. I am truly blessed and honored. I am so happy right now, not because I don't have a position anymore, but because I trust my soul and I trust the direction it's taken me. And unfortunately, the place that I was at, although it was a great place to work and it was amazing, even with it, my life got to a point where it was starting to feel quite a bit stagnant. And so I have no concerns, issues, fears, or anything about any of that. It's important for me to share this video today, I think, because again, I think I do a lot of videos, and I share all of the what I would call the PB&Js of life, the peace, joy, and bliss of life that I have. But I wanted to always be cognizant of the fact that I know a lot of you are just not in that place yet. And so I do want to share it when I have these big traumas, these big challenges that I face again, so you can just kind of see how it feels for me versus, maybe if you were to put yourself in my position, how it might feel for you. And so, I just really want to share, how excited I am because, I trust my soul, and when I trust my soul, that means I don't have to be in control. And when I don't have to be in control, I know that there are many blessings that are out here waiting for me, and my soul wants me to receive those blessings. And where I was becoming stagnant, and I wasn't getting to that point. So again, for those of you who want to reach out and say, I'm sorry, thank you very much. I'm honored. I'm honored that you care, and that you'd share that, but please, you can refrain from that. One of the things I wanted to talk about today is I wanted to talk about the world we live in today. I wanted to talk about the Matrix. A lot of people say, "Oh, I'm woke, and this is just the Matrix." I want to explain kind of what that means. What that means is that when you awaken to your soul and you connect with your soul, you're no longer in your mind. So your ego, that ego identity that you used to tie yourself to, no longer, it starts to purge away. And it doesn't exist. So all of these stories that we've used to cover up who we really are, they start to fade away. And when those things fade away, you start to see how all those stories play out in society. 2020 is the perfect example of what that looks like. We go from coronavirus to murder hornets to police brutality to riots, back to coronavirus, we're coming to election. Look, folks, it's all over the place. And when you start to shed the stories of who you are and you start to see society for the way it is, what you see people being guided, the public being guided through all of these different things in order to get you to split in half, and one side to react one way and one side to react the other way. And it's just this constant this all the time. And it's interesting because we sit here and we talk about, I hear on social media all the time about, oh, I'm from America, we're so free, we have all these freedoms. And I guess what I want to share is that, I've been fortunate. I've been fortunate in my life because I've traveled to 43 different states. I've traveled to 19 different countries. And when I say I've traveled to 19 different countries, it doesn't mean I landed in the country and then flew out and that counts. For me, I had to spend at least a night and 24 hours in that country. And for the 19 countries that I've stayed in, I'm fortunate to spend way more time in the countries than that. And then some of those countries I've been blessed to return to. And I will tell you, from my perspective, even before I woke up, there is no country that I've ever been to where I felt any less free than I feel here in the United States on a daily basis. There's no other country I've been to where I didn't feel like I could say what I wanted to say or do what I wanted to do or interact with who I wanted to interact with or anything else, anywhere else in the world, like here. And I think that gives me a different perspective, not only because I've gone from, more of an ego understanding of life to more of a spiritual understanding of life. I think it gives me a better perspective because I know a lot of people have not been fortunate enough to go outside of the country. Or if they have, they've gone to, Canada or Mexico, which truly, I love both countries dearly. I've been to both many, many times, but because we're in such close proximity, there are a lot of similarities in the ways some of the things are done in both countries. And, I guess what I would say is that when you look at other countries, your understanding of the world is based on what you get off of the news. And I will tell you that, the truth is that is not a great place to get your understanding of the world. The news makes the world look like it's an ugly and dangerous place and everyone hates us. And the truth is, that's just not the truth. When you want to sit back and you want to look at, like, right now, our biggest difference, excuse me, I'm going to carry this inside because it's starting to get windy out here. When you want to look at this difference, the biggest difference I would suggest would be probably China. I mean, because it is the biggest difference in country that we, in government that we experience. And I've met many Chinese people from China. I have not been specifically to China, but I have met a lot of Westerners, South Africans and Portuguese who work in China, and they absolutely love it there. And with the exception of maybe having some restrictions on internet and that sort of thing, I mean, pretty much they have a life like any other person in the world. And so we get on these things where we go and we start judging these other places and we start saying, oh, well, they're not as good as us. And you allow your ego to make that separation that those people are not our people. Yet here we are in the middle of a pandemic and we're not even treating our people like we're our people. We're treating everybody like we don't care about them. I can't believe we actually have to have arguments about whether or not scientifically proven wearing a mask prevents your germs from more easily being spread to someone else. I mean, I can't believe we're actually having arguments about, whether we should, go out in public and interact during a pandemic. I just can't believe we're having that argument, okay? Especially when the rest of the world is starting to get things under control and we are just, truthfully, we're a mess. 19 years ago, an airplane flew into a side of a building. It killed roughly 5,000 people, and the entire country came together. And we were like, this is not acceptable. Yet in the past 4 months, we've had 145,000 people die, and we act like it's no big deal. And that's a shame. It's a shame. Because what I see in our country is we've gone from a country that really cared about, if anything, just our own citizens to a country that we only care strictly about ourselves. And that is a shame. That's a shame. It's a shame that that's the jump that we've made. Now, I'm not choosing one side or the other. I'm not a Democrat and I'm not a Republican. This is not a political message and it's not meant to be. It's just meant to show you how the world around you gets defined by what you consume, what you listen to, what you watch, and how you interact with it. And that, my friends, is the matrix. Period. That is the matrix. So when you hear people talk about that, I don't want you to look at that and go, oh my gosh, that these people are off their rocker, because there is some truth to that. Being where I'm at, it's very easy to see how the world works and how our country works, and to see that rule that doesn't apply to me because I choose not to live under that belief. Your soul is perfect. We've talked about this. Your soul is made of unconditional love. Your soul is capable of anything. And I mean anything. Because the soul that you have is the same soul that Buddha had. It's the same soul that Jesus had. And those two men in particular did things for the world that thousands of years later we still look at in awe. You have the same soul in you. You're capable of the same great things if you should choose. And so what I ask is to consider that and understand that that power that you have in your soul, the only thing limiting that power is your mind. Because the mind is limiting. The mind can't understand how the universe works. The mind can't understand how God works. The mind can't understand how the soul works because it's a different energy. It's on a different plane. So I put all that out there for you all just to consume. Again, this isn't a political message. This isn't a you're right, you're wrong. This isn't meant to take sides. This is meant for one reason and one reason only. One of your main jobs here on this plane is to love your fellow man, to love one another. And all I ask is that when you interact with your fellow man, when you interact on Facebook, when you interact in public, that you just be respectful and show that person the same kind of love and respect that you would want in return. And if you have a hard time doing that, then I really, truly encourage you to look in the mirror and think about what are the things about you, what are the stories that your ego has created about you that you don't like, that makes you not love yourself. Because loving yourself is very important in order to be able to love everyone around you. Okay? I'm going to leave you with that message. That being said, I'm going to not be on social media as much here while we're going through this difficult period. I feel like it's important for me to kind of, I guess for lack of a better word, protect my energy, because I see a lot of this stuff. I see a lot of friends starting to fight with each other. I see a lot of friends saying nasty things to each other, and it just doesn't feel good for me to see that. So I need to step away from that. But I love you all. I will be back. I'm honored and blessed to have each and every one of you in my lives. All right? Peace. Have a blessed day, and I'll talk to you again soon.